by Denver. And here comes Jokić, who is having an incredible season. Picking a screen. Jokić a three.
What do you call a player averaging 28 points, 13 rebounds, and 11 assists in the NBA Finals? Some say the best player in the world. Others call him the face of the league. Name one player who can stop him. Go ahead, I'll wait. Not Bam. Not AD. Not even prime Draymond. Because right now, Nikola Jokić isn't just beating defenses. He's exposing how badly the NBA underestimated him for years. But if you ask Nikola Jokić, he'd probably just shrug and say, "I'm a cookie monster." Because when you're this dominant, you don't need to say much. Your game speaks for itself. The NBA has never seen a player like this. A 7-foot magician dropping dimes like Stockton while putting up wilt numbers. They said he was too slow, too unathletic. Now, he's dismantling the league on his terms. This isn't basketball. This is Nikola Jokić rewriting the rules of greatness. In 20 years, we'll tell our kids about two types of NBA players. Those who played basketball and whatever the hell Nikola Jokić was doing out there. This isn't an MVP season. This is the birth of a legend. This isn't just an MVP season. This isn't just a championship run. This is Nikola Jokić redefining what greatness looks like in the NBA. And if you think you can stop him, think again. Bam Adebayo isn't just a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. He's one of the most versatile defensive anchors in modern NBA history. A switchable five who can lock down guards on the perimeter and stonewall centers in the paint. A human eraser who made the all-defensive first team twice before turning 26. And right here, he's paralyzed. Watch frame by frame as Murray comes off the dribble handoff. Bam's hips are already turned toward Jokić before the screen even arrives. His feet aren't just heavy, they're rooted in quicksand. This isn't a defensive lapse, it's systemic breakdown, engineered by Jokic's gravitational pull. The moment Jokić even hints at a roll, Bam's brain short-circuits. His left foot creeps toward the paint to cut off the lob, but his right arm stays extended toward Murray's pull-up. The result? A 6'9", 255-pound Defensive Player of the Year candidate stuck in the no-man's land of his nightmares. For most players, this hesitation lasts 0.3 seconds. Against Jokić? That's enough time for him to pump fake, Bam into the shadow realm. Freeze, the weak side help defender, Jimmy Butler, who's too busy pointing at Jokić to notice Bruce Brown cutting. Thread, a no-look bounce pass through 3 sets of knees. And just like that, what should have been a contested Murray floater becomes a Brown dunk with Bam still 2 full steps out of position. This is the Jokić paradox. The better the defender, the more visibly they unravel. This is why advanced stats can't quantify Jokic's impact. There's no metric for induced defensive schizophrenia. No box score records how many times Adebayo muttered, "What the f***?" Jokić doesn't just break defenses, he weaponizes their adjustments. When Miami tries to counter by, he shoots 47% on pull-up threes this postseason, better than Curry in 22 finals. He's averaging 1.42 points per possession. As the roll man, best in NBA playoff history. He's shooting 68% in post-ups against guards, while assisting on 41% of them. And when Spoelstra finally throws the kitchen sink at him, that's when the real fun begins. Because Jokic's greatest skill isn't his passing or scoring, it's forcing elite defenders to doubt every instinct they've honed for a decade. Bam Adebayo will make 8 more all-defensive teams. He'll anchor top 5 defenses for years. But in this series, he's not guarding Jokić. He's guarding the ghost of every adjustment Jokić hasn't even made yet. And that's the scariest part. This isn't a mismatch. It's a masterclass. Skilled as KAT star, Austin Rivers, you're fired. Let's break this down. Jokić has a higher PER than Wilt's 50 PPG season. Higher 3P% than Steph this playoffs. More assists than prime LeBron. But sure, let's debate skill while he's outpassing your point guard from the post. The resurrection of Russell Westbrook, how Nikola Jokić and the Nuggets exposed NBA media bias. When a Los Angeles Lakers source infamously called Russell Westbrook a vampire, draining the life from their locker room, ESPN ran with the narrative. The network painted Westbrook as washed, a toxic presence, and a player whose best days were behind him. Fast forward to his arrival in Denver, and the story has flipped entirely. Alongside Nikola Jokić, Westbrook isn't just surviving, he's thriving, proving that the problem was never his talent, but the environment around him. The vampire label was always reductive. In Los Angeles, Westbrook was miscast, a ball-dominant guard forced into a spot-up role in a system that didn't suit him. The Lakers, built around LeBron James's heliocentric style, needed spacing and off-ball movement. Westbrook, at his best, is a relentless attacker, a transition force, and a playmaker who thrives with the ball in his hands. Instead of adjusting the system to maximize his strengths, the Lakers and the media blamed him for their failures. ESPN amplified this narrative, framing Westbrook as a locker room cancer rather than examining the Lakers' flawed roster construction. The truth? LeBron-led teams have a history of scapegoating role players when things go wrong. From Kevin Love to Kyle Kuzma to Frank Vogel, the pattern is clear. If the team underperforms, someone other than LeBron takes the fall. Westbrook was just the latest casualty. In Denver, Westbrook found a system tailor-made for his revival. Unlike the Lakers, the Nuggets don't ask him to stand in the corner and wait for kick-out threes. Instead, they unleash him in transition, where his speed and aggression remain elite. More importantly, he's playing alongside Nikola Jokić, a superstar who doesn't need to dominate the ball to dominate the game. Jokic's brilliance lies in his ability to elevate teammates without demanding stylistic sacrifices. He doesn't require Westbrook to be something he's not. Instead, he creates opportunities for him. The results speak for themselves. In Los Angeles, Westbrook shot 41% from the field and 30% from three. In Denver, 53% from the field, 36% from deep, and a plus 12.3 net rating when sharing the floor with Jokić. ESPN's coverage of Westbrook's downfall was relentless, but their analysis of his resurgence has been muted. Why? Because it doesn't fit the drama-driven narrative they've built around him. The network thrives on conflict. LeBron's struggles, super team implosions, and superstar feuds. A quiet, well-constructed partnership in Denver doesn't generate the same clicks. But the real story here isn't just Westbrook's redemption. It's how Jokic's unselfish greatness exposes the flaws in how we evaluate players. The NBA media often judges talent based on fit within high-profile, poorly constructed teams, like the Lakers, rather than considering how systems impact performance. Westbrook isn't a vampire. He was a square peg forced into a round hole, and Denver finally gave him the right role. The bigger picture. What this means for the NBA. Westbrook's revival in Denver should force a reevaluation of how we talk about players in decline. How many other veterans have been written off because they were misused, rather than because they lost their ability? Could a player like Ben Simmons, for example, thrive in the right system? It also highlights Jokic's unique value. He's not just an MVP, he's a franchise centerpiece who makes everyone around him better. From Aaron Gordon's career year to Jamal Murray's playoff heroics, And now Westbrook's resurgence. Jokić continues to prove that elite basketball isn't just about individual stats. It's about elevating your team. Russell Westbrook was never the problem in Los Angeles. The Lakers' inability to adapt to his strengths was. In Denver, he's found a system that lets him be himself, alongside a superstar who doesn't need to overshadow him to succeed. ESPN's vampire storyline was always shallow. The real lesson? Great players don't decline overnight. They just need the right environment to shine. And in Denver, Westbrook is shining brighter than ever. Miami thought zone would work. Big mistake. Jokić versus zone is like giving Picasso an etch-a-sketch. Suddenly, every weakness becomes art. See this? 4 Heat defenders magnetized to Jokić, while MPJ yawns in the corner. Spoelstra's adjustments, Jokić eats adjustments for breakfast. Here's the secret they don't want you to know. He's getting better. 38 minutes a night, 71% from 3 in the clutch, carrying a Nuggets roster missing 2 starters. Meanwhile, the face of the league needs 12 games off by Christmas. Jokić? He'll play through fractured wrists, food poisoning, and your hot takes. Not marketable. No personality. Won't move the needle. Meanwhile, Jokić is out here dropping 40-piece triple-doubles between horse races and sipping Coca-Cola. The NBA wants highlight reel athletes? He's got 16 game winners this season. They want drama? He threatened to retire at 28 to become a farmer. The man's a walking meme, and he's still drowning your franchise in buckets. Watch closely. The help defender hesitates for 0.3 seconds. That's all he needs. No look bullet pass to Gordon. Dunk. This is why advanced stats break when measuring him. His gravity warps time. Guards drop into the paint against Jamal freaking Murray, because Jokic's post-ups are the NBA's version of climate change, inevitable and catastrophic. Jokić, when I finish my career, I wish nobody knows me. The greatest NBA dynasty since the Warriors is being built by a guy who'd rather be cast in a Western. No viral moments, no shoe deals, just 300 pounds of Balkan fury redefining legend on his terms. And after this finals, the world's finally realizing you can't market a hurricane. Larry Legend had 3 MVPs, 3 rings, and a village of haters. Sound familiar? Jokić isn't just mirroring Bird, he's one-upping him. Bird craved the spotlight. Jokić? He'd trade his MVP trophies for a 2 p.m. slot at the Serbian Horse Derby. And that's why America's brain short-circuits. How do you hype a guy who treats legacy like a grocery list? Watch Miami's defense here. They're not guarding Jokić, they're surviving him. Bam Adebayo's a DPOY candidate. But this is like trying to stop a comet with a butterfly net. The scariest part? He's bored. While Giannis flexes and Tatum scowls, Jokić is already mentally grazing stallions. The NBA sells superheroes. Jokic's a plumber, and not the Mario kind. He's fixing leaks you didn't know existed. But his defense. Cut to Jokić stripping Jimmy Butler in crunch time. But his athleticism. Show him out-rebounding AD in the WCF. The truth? We've never seen a center rewire basketball IQ like this. He's not a unicorn. He's the whole damn zoo. The media calls him unmarketable. Wrong. He's anti-marketable. In a league of hashtags, he's a black hole of swag. And that's why the respect lags. You can't sell genius in a 15-second TikTok. But Denver doesn't care. Dynasties aren't built on clicks. They're built on cold, Serbian steel. When the confetti falls, Jokić won't cry. He won't scream. He'll shuffle off stage, hug a horse, and ask when training camp starts. Legacy? That's for Twitter. Jokić. He's here to break math. Graphic, first player ever with 5,000 assists as a center. While rivals chase clout, he's stacking rings like firewood. And when the debates finally end, the record books won't lie. The Hurricane didn't need a name to leave ruins. Smash that like button if you're riding with Jokić for MVP. 100K likes, and I'll expose the NBA's next fraud superstar. Comment horse below for part 2. How a chubby Serbian broke analytics. Subscribe and hit the bell. We're dropping truth bombs daily. Stay locked in. The Jokić era's just getting started.
Music like